Hello everybody, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. This is going to be a bit of a different video from the videos I usually make. I usually focus a lot on cars and trucks and motorcycles and working on them and driving them and having fun. However, today's video is going to be a little bit different because of the events of the past couple of weeks. The past 2 weeks, for those of you who keep up with high school and that kind of stuff, and I don't know why you do that if you're not in high school currently, but whatever, have been AP test weeks. And so for those of you who don't know, AP tests are essentially examinations that are put out by the College Board that enable high schoolers to get college credit through taking a test, basically. And usually that is accompanied by taking a class that is designed to accompany that test over the school year leading up to it. And so this year's my senior year. I've been working very, very hard and taking a lot of advanced classes so that I can try to get as far ahead as possible when I go into college this coming fall. And so I took 7 AP tests over the past 2 weeks. And that is something that has been very, very time-consuming, very, very difficult. Last week wasn't so bad because I only had 2 tests. That was AP Government and AP Literature and Composition. So those 2 weren't so bad. However, this week I had 5 tests. AP Physics C Mechanics, AP Physics C Electricity and Magnetism, AP Calculus BC, AP Macroeconomics, and then finally today I took AP Computer Science A. And with all of that out of the way now, I just wanted to make a little quick video talking about why I decided to take all these tests and how I was able to get through taking all of them and preparing for them. And so the number one thing, why did I decide to take all these tests? I like to push myself and I like to become the best that I can at everything. I'm trying to graduate as valedictorian, and so classes like those help to boost your GPA. I also want to be able to do as much of what I enjoy doing in college as possible, so I wanted to try and see if I could maybe get some GE credit or elective credit that I don't really need necessarily, but that I can then devote my time to studying other things rather than wasting my time and energy taking some GE class that I could have knocked out through an AP test. And so that is why I decided to take the AP tests. Pretty basic. However, how did I actually go about preparing and then survive these last 2 weeks? Because AP tests are hard. They're a lot. You're sitting in a room for usually between 2 and 3 hours, and you're filling out bubble sheets and you're getting all this done, and it's just completely repetitive because they have to read the same instructions for every test, and it's not very pleasant. And the best way that I was able to survive is through being 100% engaged and committed to learning the content over the course of the year. I didn't need to study a whole ton leading up to these tests because of how much attention I paid and how dedicated I was to learning material during the year. That was really, really critical because I didn't have to go back and do a whole ton of review stuff. I just had to go back over some things, practice some of the more difficult things that I didn't get as well the first time maybe, and because of that, I was able to go in and I think do fairly well on most of the tests, and I will talk about how I feel about each one. AP Government, I felt very, very, very solid about. Nothing too crazy there, so I feel very good about that. AP English Literature, I feel fairly confident. That ultimately comes down to whether or not the grader believes that I fulfilled the expectations for my essays. So we'll see how that goes. I thought that for the majority of the tests, though, most of the content was pretty alright. AP Physics C Mechanics, I think I'll probably end up getting a 4 or 5 on. That wasn't really too bad. I like mechanics a lot. I'm actually majoring in mechanical engineering, and so that was an enjoyable test for me to take, even though I didn't necessarily understand how to do anything. However, AP Physics C Electricity and Magnetism, if there's any test that I'm not going to pass, that's going to be it. I'm hoping that because of how difficult it is for everyone who takes it, that I might be able to get a 4, because I was able to answer all of the multiple choice questions, and I was able to get quite a bit down on the paper for the free response. Who knows if I actually did well on that. And then Calculus I feel very good about. I'm very fortunate to have an amazing teacher who was able to teach us all the content and then have many weeks to review to spare leading up to the test, and so he made sure that we were absolutely prepared for that, so I'm very, very lucky to have been so prepared for Calculus. Economics, I feel like I was a little underprepared by my teacher. The test was more difficult than most of the tests that I'd had in her class. However, I feel like I probably got a 4 on that. I feel decently confident about that. And then Computer Science today, I think I definitely got a 4, probably a 5. I feel very, very good about that one as well. I was able to understand everything and put some very good stuff down on the paper as well. So I'm pretty happy with how I ultimately have ended up doing with all of this stuff. However, during the middle of test week, Wednesday of this week, when I'd taken 5 tests already and going into economics, I was not excited But the number one thing is just to remember what the end result of everything is going to be with AP tests and taking all this crazy stuff. It's a lot to take in, it's a lot to handle, but if you keep yourself focused on the destination, if you make sure you're getting good sleep, if you make sure that you're paying attention throughout the year so that you're as ready as you can be when AP test season comes around, you'll be able to make it through. And ultimately, keep yourself within what you're comfortable with. So I've been pushing myself all the time throughout my entire life. I have this YouTube channel in addition to school and all these other things that I do at Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout, and so I am quite busy. And because I've been able to push myself so much throughout my life, this was just another step on the challenge ladder for me to climb and achieve. So ultimately, if you're trying to do as many AP classes as possible, do the ones that you like, for one thing. That's why I ended up taking AP Physics C this year. I knew that going into it that it was going to be my hardest class. It was going to be extremely difficult, and I wasn't going to do great on everything in it. But because I liked physics and I wanted to major in engineering, I really wanted to do it. So that is why I ultimately did it. So just remember to focus on the end goal. Enjoy what you're doing. I mean, have fun with the people that you take the test with. Obviously, if you don't think that it's likely you'll pass a test or that it'll be useful to you, I would say don't take it. There are some of the tests that I signed up for that I found out that I really can only get elective credit for, which, I mean, that's fine, but, I mean, you have to take electives regardless usually, so. And I wanted to see how I could do on them as well, just like see how I did on the course material, and so, yeah, I mean, I survived 7 AP tests this past 2 weeks and made it through, and I'm still ready to keep on going, and I'm excited to end school and move on to the next chapter, and I'm glad that I did take the amount of tests that I did, because that was a good challenge for me, and it was another great way for me to push the limits of what is possible and my skill set and what I can do. So I know this isn't really anything like what I normally do on this channel, but I thought it might be interesting to some of you guys who are interested in how my life looks like as outside of the car channel, or maybe to those of you guys who are maybe looking for some education advice yourself from somebody who's about to finish the K through 12 education system. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought, and share this video with all their friends if they're taking AP tests next year or if they've taken AP tests this year. And peace out. Thanks, guys.